Geronimo Stilton. The Amazing Voyage, Part 4. At last, it seemed the fantasy company was complete. That evening, in front of the great assembly of the Kingdom of Fantasy, there was a ceremony. We all put our right hands over our hearts and declared a solemn oath. We swear to always get along, to stand up for the poor, the weak, and the defenseless, to listen to others, to never litter, to recycle whenever possible, and to wash up after every meal. Then the King of the Gnomes stood up and declared, "Good luck finding Blossom, and may you all come back, more alive than dead." I chewed my whiskers. More alive than dead? What was that supposed to mean? After the ceremony, we all went to bed, but I was so nervous I couldn't sleep a wink. At dawn, we prepared to leave. I was so tired I felt like a zombie. I said goodbye to all my friends. Scribblehopper gave me a scroll with a poem he had written in my honor. "If you don't make it back alive, Ribbit, I promise I'll make you a beautiful tombstone," he told me. The king and the queen of the gnomes said goodbye next. Queen Cozy gave me a warm bundle of something that smelled delicious. "Dear Knight, I've packed you some of my special honey-glazed sugar cookies. They're still hot from the oven, so don't burn your paws," she warned. My stomach rumbled in response, and she laughed. I was tempted to forget the whole trip and just spend the day eating cookies. But instead, I looked around for Boils so I could say goodbye. As usual, he had camouflaged himself. I wonder where he's hiding. At last, we were ready to climb aboard the talking ship. Even though I was extremely nervous about the journey, I was excited too. I mean, who gets a chance to sail on a ship that talks? But when we got on deck, Gray muttered, "Where are the sailors? How are we supposed to move this thing?" "Excuse me, Mr. Tinkles," Horizon fumed. "I told you I'm magical. I know how to sail all by myself." "Hey, don't call me Mr. Tinkles," Gray yelled. Then the giant shouted, "Quit arguing, you two. Lift your anchor, lady, and let's go." I twisted my tail in a knot. So much for getting along. I knelt down and said, "Please, lift your anchor, Horizon. Think of Queen Blossom." Eventually, Horizon lifted her anchor, and off we went. "What a sensitive ship," Gray mumbled. A minute later, he was soaking wet. "Watch it, Cat, or I'll throw you overboard," Horizon yelled. Soon, we were skimming through the blue waves, sending up splashes of foam. It was amazing to watch as the helm of the ship steered itself. Later, when Horizon grew tired, dolphins, whales, and giant sea creatures helped move her along. During the trip, I spoke to the ship about all the wonderful places that she had visited and the adventures she had been through. I found out Horizon was one fascinating ship. The ship had lots of rooms, including one that was just for treasure. Every room gleamed with touches of silver. A mirror, a painting, a sparkling sink. The place was beautiful. One evening, I went on deck to thank Horizon for letting us sail with her. She thanked me too. "You're the only passenger who doesn't make a mess," she explained. "The cat leaves fur everywhere, and the giant runs up and down, making me unbalanced. Sterling clipped one of my sails with an arrow, and the deer scratches the deck with its hooves." I shook my head. Talk about letting people walk all over you. Then Horizon said, "You're such a kind knight, Geronimo of Stilton. I would like to give you a gift. Go to the treasure room and open the silver chest." Cheese Nibble, it's the treasure room! I was so excited! I ran to the room and flung open the chest. Inside was a shiny silver suit of elf armor. There was also a ring. It seemed like it was made of light. "I know you are a fearless knight," Horizon said, "but even you will need help in freeing Blossom. This ring of light will help you. The ring will emit a sword of white light made of pure energy." I put on the ring. It was encased in pure crystal. I noticed that inside the ring there was writing in Fantasia. The engraving on the ring of light read, "Only for peace." In the kingdom of fantasy, there are some very precious rings, known as the Rings of Light. They were made during the time of night, in the heart of the crystal cave of the fairies, as a symbol of peace, harmony, and unity among the people. Every kingdom participated in the creation of the rings. The giants melted the precious metal. The dragons used their fire to heat them. The elves worked on them. The gnomes, with their small but able hands, made the incisions, and the fairies donated their pure crystals to decorate them. When all the rings of light were ready, each kingdom kept one in its custody, as a promise to defend and protect the members of each kingdom against bullies and evildoers. Unfortunately, many years ago, some of the rings were stolen and ended up in the wrong hands. Many evildoers used the rings for war and not for peace.